Well, being part of Montreal's organization, as a player and as a coach, it's always, been an honor, and also to work for them is something of a lot of value. Mark Bergevin, brought in the culture of hard work, brought in the culture of being respectful, and also working together. It's been great, throughout the organization. The experience and also the knowledge that's passed on and that's also shared, between each other, is great.
Such a legacy behind the Canadians name and hockey history. Do you find that the players have a sense of real pride of wearing that logo?
Well, that's also part of our job, to translate that and also to talk to them about, how important it is. And not only to play for the organization, but also for the fans. The organization, we all know that it's been one of the most successful in not only in hockey, but in sports in general. And it's a great honor, like I said, to play or to work for the organization. And the people in Montreal and all over Quebec, they support the team and they are big fans. They not only for the Montreal Canadiens, but for hockey in general. And hockey's like a religion in Quebec. And being from there, I know what I'm talking about. And also having played for the Canadiens and also for the Nordiques, knowing what it's all about to play and live in Quebec. And hockey is a big part of the Quebecers.
Absolutely. Well, you mentioned two names there, the Canadiens and the Nordique. You played for some really prestigious teams throughout your playing career. Talk to me a little bit about what it was like getting to play for the Canadiens, the Avalanche, the Rangers, the Nordique. What was that like during your playing career?
Well, a lot of media scrutiny. There's a lot of pressure, not only on the players, but on throughout the organization. But it's so much fun to play for those teams when you win hockey games. When you lose, it's not so much fun. Having said that, it's great to play in Hockey Central, in where hockey is, like I said, not just in Montreal, but in Quebec City, in Toronto, in New York, where hockey is big. And obviously it wasn't as big in Colorado when we first got there, but winning the cup there was for a player and an organization, that's what it's all about. And that's the goal of every team. So to have that experience, not only hockey wise, but also as a family, live in different areas and in areas where it's all different. Montreal is different than Quebec City, and then New York is a lot different than Toronto, and so for us as a family, it was great experiences, and it's something that even to this day, my kids remember, and it's helping them, because they learn the language, and speak French and English, and for them to be bilingual like this, is a tremendous asset.
Absolutely. Can you still feel the feeling like it was yesterday when you won the cup?
It's a feeling that you just can't describe, And every year that a team lifts that cup, it's something special, That the memories that you have, and even the other day in Toronto, I saw one of my ex-teammates that we won the cup together, and there's a special bond there, Even if we don't see each other very often, there is something special, and the memories that you share, and the when you're in the trenches like this, and people, don't realize how hard it is, and teams that do it, year after year, it's even tougher, and it's very grueling on the body, it's very grueling on the mind, and you have to be strong, not only physically but mentally.
Did you always know from when you were young that you wanted a career in hockey one way or another?
Oh, I was dreaming about it. I didn't know if it was gonna happen until probably my third year junior, and then. After that, starting pro, I wanted to give myself a few years. If it didn't work out, I want to go back to school. Not waste too much time and go back to school. But things worked out, and I'm sure, realized my dream, but also lived it for many years, and I still do as a coach. So that's, hockey's been great to me.
Yeah. Did you choose defense, or did defense choose you?
It's kind of hard to explain because, I was a forward. I was drafted as a forward in juniors, and at some point, I wasn't playing much, and, we needed defensemen. And they thought I skated backwards pretty well, so I said, I'll give it a shot. And then I stayed there. Didn't get drafted, but was invited to training camp with Montreal Canadiens, and signed my first pro contract then. I went back to junior and stayed on defense. And then after that, I turned pro, played for the Sherbrooke Canadiens for a couple of years. But that's mostly where I learned how to play defense.
That experience, going undrafted, but then getting signed by the Canadiens, I'm sure a lot of what you do as a coach off the ice is really counseling your group of guys on the work ethic it takes, and that the breaks aren't always going to go your way, but you have to keep pushing. Do you find that those kinds of experiences help you to relate with them a little more?
Well, it sure does, because I think I can show or speak for itself about perseverance and believing. When you're not drafted, you realize that everything's played on the ice, and it's what you do during games, obviously, but during practices and off the ice, how you conduct yourself, how you take care of yourself, so the work ethic, like you said. And I was lucky enough to have some coaches and also some people around me that taught me well, and and kept me grounded. And I think I had a family a fairly young age, and that surely kept me grounded. Yeah.
Is it challenging from a coach's standpoint? You've got guys that get called up, they get sent back down, they don't make the roster, they find themselves here, maybe they mentally don't want to be, or there's cases where they might not crack the lineup for a few weeks. And do you find it challenging to keep motivation up and keep focus, or are they good at balancing that?
It is challenging, but having said that, it's on a case-to-case basis. It's nobody's the same, and it's not all the same situations. And it's not everybody that takes adversity the same way. So we're there to guide them. We're there to help them. And if our experiences can help them, great. But we have help too. We have people around us, and there's so many people in the organization that come by and also have different experiences. And so if we can't speak for from our experiences, then we have people around us that can help us out and help the players out. And that's why we're here.
What's it like for you when one of your guys gets a call up?
Oh, it's fun first to tell them, to give them the news, and it's interesting to see their reactions. And then there's a sense of accomplishment, from us and from them too. It's years of hard work, especially when it's their first call up. You can really see the reactions and the emotions of the players, and it's for us. It's a great feeling as a coach, because we know how what it's like to work so hard, and to finally see the light at the end of the tunnel is very rewarding. And for us coaches at this level here, that's our reward. That's what we get not judged, but that's how our work gets analyzed a little bit, and it's for us, like I said, it's the reward part that really gets us, and that's why we're so passionate about our job.